and Shibi. Once again, we are supporting a nonprofit, and today's event will donate proceeds to the Milagro House. To talk to you, and to talk to you a little bit about the Milagro House is their program director. Please welcome Siobhan.
Hi, ladies and gents. Thanks for being here tonight and supporting Milagro House. Just to know, so Milagro House is a residence for moms. We have 9 moms with their kids who live with us, and they are pursuing their education. That's why they come to live at Milagro House, is because they're interested in getting their education so that they can earn a living wage, so that they can save money and get out and live independently. So that's their goal. But really what their goal is that they want to provide a better life for themselves and their kids. And they are so determined and so resilient. And honestly, the cycle of poverty is just so hard to break that they just need support to get over a lot of the obstacles that just keep coming up against them. But these women are determined, and every event like this that supports that and like what makes them feel even more welcome into this community. They're always astounded about how generous the community is to them and their families. And so every little bit helps, and we will certainly put it to good use, and these moms will find their independent wings and fly high when they leave the Milagro House. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Can't say it enough. You're awesome.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Siobhan, and thank you for the work that you continue to do and the services that you provide to local women in need. Following in line with that, if you weren't here clap if you were here last year. Thank you, repeat offenders, and clap if you're here for the first time. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We sold out again this year, so thanks to you so much for your support. Throughout the show, you'll be hearing readings from Eve Ensler's Vagina Monologues, and all of the stories have already been predetermined, and they're readings from that book. If you feel so moved, in many cultures, in my own as well, there's a tradition of putting money at the feet of someone who moves you. So because of that, we're doing this, not because it's my culture, but this is the big heavy thing that we can't pass around. So we're gonna put this on the floor in the front of each reader as they read. When they're finished, if you do feel moved by the story or you feel like you wanna donate to the cause a little bit more, please do get up and go ahead and throw some cash in there. Good? Yeah?
Strip club.
Like a strip club. Thank you, Amy. It's exactly the vibe we were trying to promote. She's so astute. I'm gonna hold back my early onset dementia comment. Did I not do that? I didn't hold it back. Anyway. We have a number of readers for you tonight, a number of stories, and after each one, please do feel free to donate money. If you have money in the back and you want to pass it up, you can do that too. We're happy to take your dollars for the fundraising cause. All right, you guys ready to get started? All right. Joining me for our first reading, Claire Reiner and Amy Banks. Well, you and I are loud enough to share. That's what we decided. Claire needs help. Okay.
Very quiet.
Very quiet. All right. Are we ready?
Yes.
All of the women were asked the following questions.
No.
Nope.
No.
Wrong script. That's my bad.
Early onset dementia.
Early onset dementia. Did I say that out loud? We're the same age. I bet you're worried.
We were worried.
We were worried about vaginas.
We were worried what we think about vaginas, and even more worried that we don't think about them. We were worried about our own vaginas. They needed a context of other vaginas, a community, a culture of vaginas. It's kind of funny, isn't that what they do at the doctor's office?
Keep reading.
A culture of vaginas. There's so much darkness and secrecy surrounding them, like the Bermuda Triangle. Nobody ever reports back from there.
In the first place, it's not so easy to even find your vagina. Women go weeks, months, sometimes years without looking at it. A high-powered businesswoman was interviewed, and she said she was too busy. She didn't have the time. Looking at your vagina, she said, is a full day's work. You have to get down there on your back in front of a mirror that's standing on its own, full length preferred. You've got to get in the perfect position with the perfect light, which is then shadowed somehow by the mirror and the angle you're at. You get all twisted up. You're arching your head up, killing your back. You're exhausted by then. She said she didn't have time for that. She was busy.
So there were vagina interviews, which became vagina monologues. Over 200 women were interviewed. Older women, young women, married women, lesbians, single women, college professors, actors, corporate professionals, sex workers, African American women, Asian American women, Hispanic women, Native American women, Caucasian women, Jewish women. Okay, at first, women were reluctant to talk. They were a little shy, but once they got going, you couldn't stop them. Women secretly love to talk about their vaginas. They get very excited, mainly because no one's ever asked them before. Sorry. Let's just start with the word vagina. It sounds like an infection at best. Maybe a medical instrument. Hurry, nurse. Bring me the vagina. Vagina, vagina. Doesn't matter how many times you say it, it never sounds like a word you want to say. It's a totally ridiculous, completely unsexy word. If you use it during sex, trying to be politically correct, darling, could you stroke my vagina? You pretty much kill the act right there.
We were worried about vaginas, what we call them and what we don't call them.
In Great Neck, New York, they call it a pussycat. A woman there said that her mother used to tell her, "Don't wear panties underneath your pajamas, dear. You need to air out your pussycat." In Westchester, they called it a pookie.
In New Jersey, a twat.
There's the powder box, a poochie, a poopy, a peepee, a poopelu, a punani, a pal, and a peachy. Toady, Dee Nishi, Dignity, Monkey Box.
Coochie snorcher. Cooter. Lady.
Gladys Siegelman. VA, wee wee. Horse spot?
Yeah.
Nappy dugout?
What? A mongo. A mookie. A pajama. Fanny bill. Mushmallow.
A ghoulie. Posible, tamale, tortita, cani. A Mimi in Miami.
A split knish in Philadelphia.
And a schmende in the Bronx. But wait, I have a few more. Cuckoo, vajayjay.
A hooter.
Hoo-hoo. Hooter, yeah.
Hoo-ha.
Punani.
We got punani already.
On that list. We're worried about vaginas. And with our first reading this evening, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Penny Wren with Hair.
Technically, it's Penny Wren without hair. So let's take a poll. Who was taught to say the proper word vagina as a young lady when you learned your parts? Really? Oh, not that many people. The rest of you learned like a hoo-ha or your thing or something like that. A tweet or so I have a friend was pussy on that list?
Nah.
I mean, is there a better word? There's kind of not a better word as far as I'm concerned. So I brought my own dollar just in case no one gives it to me.
I know how to please myself.
And so I have a friend, she calls hers Thundercat. So last year, I was joking we were joking that, you know, the Vagina Monologues has been around for so long. And yet there's so many other interesting body parts of women I'd love to see pieces by, you know, like the titty tirades, or the flattening ass files, or what was another one? I don't remember what the other ones were. But you know, if anyone ever wants to contribute, I put that out last time. I'm happy. I would love to start a Facebook group. I do a thing, though I don't have hair. I love to flip my imaginary hair. And so if I do that, don't think that I'm a long hair person wannabe. I just find a lot of joy in doing it. So you cannot love a vagina unless you love hair. Now, many people do not love hair. My first and only husband hated hair. He said it was cluttered and dirty. He made me shave my vagina. Who has shaved their vagina? Raise your hand. Who still does? Raise your hand. Don't have any shame. It's okay. I've taken to using that one blade tweezer thing that you can get from the beauty supply store. It takes a lot of time. I'm sitting on the couch, legs spread, have all of the lights in my living room, like just pointed right here. But I tell you, there are fewer razor bumps. So my husband made me shave my vagina. And when I did, it looked puffy and exposed like a little girl. And this excited him. Now, when he made love to me, my vagina felt the way a beard must feel. It felt good to rub it and yet painful, like scratching a mosquito bite. It felt like my skin around my pussy was on fire. There were screaming red bumps. I refused to shave again. Then my husband had an affair. And when we went to marital therapy, he said he screwed around because I wouldn't please him sexually. I wouldn't shave my vagina. And that's a lie, because I did. Yeah. And so I wouldn't shave my vagina. And so the therapist, she had a German accent, and she gasped between sentences to show her empathy. And she asked me, well, why don't you want to please the man, my husband? Why don't you want to please your husband? I do a terrible German accent. So she asked me, why do you want to please my husband? Maybe she's West African, maybe she's German, maybe she's like, she has that Madonna accent from No Place in Particular. Tina Turner has it too. And so I told her, well, I don't want to please my husband when it comes to shaving my vagina because I think it's weird, right? I feel like when my hair is gone down there, that I can't help talking in a baby voice, and then the skin gets super irritated, and even calamine lotion doesn't help it. She told me, marriage is a compromise. There goes the C word. And I asked her if shaving my vagina would stop my husband from screwing around. And so then she said, and then I asked her, how many cases like this have you actually seen before? And she said that questions diluted the process, that I needed to jump in, that she was sure my shaving my vagina would be a good beginning. And so this time, when we got home, he got to shave my vagina. It was like a therapy bonus prize, if you will. He clipped it a few times, and there was blood in the bathtub. He didn't even notice it though, because he was so happy shaving me. And then later, when my husband was pressing against me, I could feel his spiky sharpness sticking into me, my naked, puffy vagina. There was no protection. There was no fluff. And I realized then that hair is there for a reason. It's the leaf around the flower, the lawn around the house. You have to love hair in order to love the vagina. You can't pick the parts you want. And besides, my husband, bless his heart, he never stopped screwing around. Oh, yay, Jenny loves you.
Oh, there you are. There you are. We're on number 2.
Number 3. I was saying number 3.
Here.
There you go.
I'm so happy.
There you
I'm
go.
this guy.
There you are, with her reading of the
Hi,
flood.
everybody.
Hadassah.
This light's so bright. I often have felt like an older woman. So this feels right to me. Just kind of go with it. Down there. I haven't been down there since 1953. No, it had nothing to do with Eisenhower. No. It's a cellar down there. It's very damp, clammy. You don't want to go down there. Trust me, you'd get sick. Suffocating, very nauseating. The smell of the clamminess and the mildew and everything, whew, it smells unbearable. Gets in your clothes. No, there was no accident down there. It didn't blow up or catch fire or anything. It wasn't so dramatic. I mean, well, never mind. No, never mind. I can't talk to you about this. What's a smart girl like you going around talking to old ladies about their down there's for? We didn't do this kind of thing when I was a girl. What? Jesus, okay. There was this boy, Andy Lefkoff. He was cute. Well, I thought so. And tall, like me. And I really liked him. He asked me out for a date in his car. I can't tell you this. I can't do this. Talk about down there, you just know it's there. Like the cellar, there's rumbles down there sometimes. You can hear the pipes and things get caught there, like little animals and things, and it gets wet. And sometimes people have to plug in the leaks. Otherwise, the door stays closed. You forget about it. I mean, it's part of the house, but you don't see it or think about it. It has to be there, though, because every house needs a cellar. Otherwise, the bedroom would be in the basement. Oh, Andy Lefkoff. Right, Andy. Andy was a very good-looking. He was a catch. That's what we called it in my day. We were in his car, a new white Chevy Bel Air. I remember thinking that my legs were too long for the seat. I have long legs. I don't have long legs. They were smushed up against the dashboard. I was looking at my big kneecaps when he just kissed me in this surprisingly take me by control like they do in the movies kind of way. And I got excited, so excited. And well, there was this flood down there. I couldn't control it. It was like this force of passion, this river of life just flooded out of me, right through my panties, right onto the car seat of his new white Chevy Bel Air. It wasn't pee and it wasn't smelly. Well, frankly, I didn't really smell anything at all, but Andy said, that it smelled like sour milk and it was staining his car seat. I was a stinky weird girl, he said. I wanted to explain that his kiss had caught me off guard, that I wasn't normally like this. I tried to wipe the flood up with my dress. It was a new yellow primrose dress, and it looked so ugly with the flood on it. Andy drove me home without saying another word, and when I got out and closed his door, I closed the whole store, locked it, never opened for business again. I dated some after that, but the idea of flooding made me so nervous, I never even got close. I used to have dreams, crazy dreams. Oh, they're dopey. Why? Burt Reynolds, why? I don't know why. He never did much for me in life, but in my dreams, it was always Burt and I. Burt and I, Burt and I, Burt and I. It was always the same general dream. We'd be out, Burt and I, was some restaurant like the kind you see in Atlantic City, all big with chandeliers and stuff and thousands of waiters with the vests. Bert would give me this orchid corsage and pin it on my blazer. We'd laugh. We were always laughing, Bert and I, laughing. We'd eat shrimp cocktail. Huge shrimp, fabulous shrimp. We laughed more. We were very happy together. Then he'd look into my eyes, pull me to him in the middle of the restaurant, and just as he was about to kiss me, the whole restaurant would start to shake. Pigeons would fly out from under the table. I don't know what those pigeons were doing there, and the flood would come from straight down under the air. It would pour out of me. It would pour, and there'd be fish inside it and little boats, and the whole restaurant would fill with my flood. And Bert would be standing waist-deep it, looking horribly disappointed in me that I'd done it again, horrified as he watched his friends, Dean Martin and the like, swim past us in their tuxedos and evening gowns. I don't have those dreams anymore. Not since they took away just about everything connected with down there. Moved out the uterus, the tubes, the whole works. The doctor thought he was being funny. He told me, you don't use it, you lose it. But really, I found out it was cancer. Everything around it had to go. Who needs it anyway? Highly overrated. I've done other things. I love the dog shows. I sell antiques. You ask me what it would wear? What kind of question is that? What would it wear? It would wear a big sign, closed due to flooding. What would it say? I told you. It's not like that. It's not like a person who speaks. It stopped being a thing that talked a long time ago. It's a place you don't go. It's closed up under the house. It's down there. Are you happy? You made me talk. You got it out of me. You got an old lady to talk about her down there. Do you feel better now? You know, actually, you're the first person I ever told about this, and I feel a little better.
Thank you so much. Any more dollars coming up? That was great. Thank you. And with their readings of I Was 12, My Mother Slapped Me, please welcome Grace and Selena.
I guess I can see. We're a little noisy.
Don't mind us. All right. Second grade, 7 years old. My brother was talking about periods. I didn't like the way he was laughing.
I went to my mother. "What's a period?" I said. "It's punctuation," she said. "You put it at the end of a sentence."
My father brought me a card to my little girl who isn't so little anymore. I was terrified. My mother showed me the thick sanitary napkins. I was to bring the used ones to the can under the kitchen sink.
I remember being one of the last. I was 13. We all wanted it to come.
I was so afraid. I started putting the used pads in brown paper bags in the dark storage places under the roof.
8th grade, my mother said. "Oh, that's nice."
In junior high, brown drips before it came coincided with a little hair under my arms, which grew unevenly. One armpit had hair, the other one didn't.
I was 16, sort of scared. My mother gave me codeine. We had bunk beds. I went down and lay there. My mother was so uncomfortable.
One night, I came home late and snuck into bed without turning on any lights. My mother had found the used pads and put them between the sheets of my bed.
I was 12 years old, still in my underpants. Hadn't gotten dressed. Looked down on the staircase, and there it was. Looked down, and there was blood.
7th grade. My mother sort of noticed my underwear. Then she gave me plastic diapers. My mom was very warm. "Let's get you a pad."
My friend Marcia, they celebrated when she got hers. They had dinner for her. We all wanted our period. We all wanted it now. Oh, let's write the next one too. Sorry, we switched up something. 13 years old. It was before Kotex. Had to watch your dress. I was black and poor. Blood on the back of your dress in church? Didn't show, but I was guilty.
Shall we roll with it?
Go for it.
Okay. I was 10 and a half, no preparation. Brown gunk on my underpants. She showed me how to put in a tampon. Only got it in halfway. I associated my period with inexplicable phenomena.
My mother told me I had to use a rag. My mother said no tampons. You couldn't put anything in your sugar dish.
Wore pads of cotton, told my mother. She gave me Elizabeth Taylor paper dolls.
15 years old. My mother said, Mazel tov. She slapped me in the face. Didn't know if that was a good thing or not.
My period, like cake mix before it's baked. Native Americans sat on moss for 5 days. Wish I were Native American.
I was 15, and I'd been hoping to get it. I was tall and kept growing.
When I saw white girls in the gym with tampons, I thought they were bad girls.
Yeah.
Okay. Saw little red drops on pink tiles. I said, yeah. My mom was glad for me. Used OB. I like putting my fingers up there.
11 years old, wearing white pants. Blood started to come out. Thought it was dreadful. I'm not ready. I got back pains. I got horny.
12 years old. I was happy. My friend had a Ouija board. Asked when we were going to get our periods. Looked down and I saw blood. Looked down and there it was.
I'm a woman, terrified. Never thought it would come. Changed my whole feelings about myself. I became very silent and mature. A good Vietnamese woman. Quiet, worker, virtuous, never speaks.
9 and a half. I was sure I was bleeding to death. Rolled up my underwear and threw them in a corner. Didn't want to worry my parents. My mother made me hot water and wine, and I fell asleep.
I was in my bedroom in my mother's apartment. I had a comic book collection. My mother said, you mustn't lift your comic book box.
My girlfriends told me you hemorrhage every month.
My mother was in and out of mental hospitals. She couldn't take my coming of age. Dear Miss Carling, please excuse my daughter from basketball. She is just matured.
At camp, they told me not to take a bath with my period. They wiped me down with antiseptic.
Scared people would smell it. Scared they'd say I smelled like fish. Throwing up, I couldn't eat, but I was hungry.
Sometimes it's very red. I like the drops that drop in the toilet, like paint. Sometimes it's brown and it disturbs me.
I was 12. My mother slapped me and bought me a red cotton t-shirt. My father went out and bought a bottle of sangria.
And don't forget, you can donate to the little jar.
Better get more money.
Honor the readers.
Jenny.
Be like Jenny. Thanks, Jenny. She's just stealing from behind the bar. Thanks, Jenny. Thanks. Don't steal. All right, next up with her reading of My Angry Vagina, Kirsten.
I don't want that chair. Oh, thank you. I might use it. Who knows? Can everyone hear me?
Oh, yeah.
Hi, my name's Kirsten, and I'm an angry person. Thank you, whoever said that's not true.
It's true.
So it's kind of true. I am going to talk about my angry vagina. My vagina's angry. It is. It's pissed off. It needs to talk. It needs to talk to you. It needs to talk about all of this shit. It needs to talk to you. I mean, what's the deal? An army of people out there thinking up psycho ways to torture my poor-ass, gentle, loving vagina. Spending their days constructing psycho products and nasty ideas to undermine my pussy. Vagina motherfuckers. All of this shit they're constantly trying to shove up us, clean us up, stuff us up, make it go away. Well, my vagina's not going away. It's pissed off and it's staying right here. Like tampons? What the hell is that? The dry wad of fucking cotton stuff up here. Can't find a way to subtly lubricate the tampon. I mean, as soon as my vagina sees it, it just goes into shock. It says, forget it, closes up. You need to work with this vagina. Introduce it to things. Prepare the way. That's what foreplay's about.
Say it again.
That's what foreplay's about. It says you have to convince my vagina. I don't like that. My vagina should already be ready, but you know what? Some people need coercing, I guess. I don't know. Seduce my vagina. Engage my vagina's trust. You can't do that with a dry wad of fucking cotton. Stop shoving things up me. Stop shoving and stop cleaning it up. My vagina doesn't need to be cleaned up. It smells good already. Doesn't need decorations. Don't believe them when they tell you it needs to smell like rose petals when it's supposed to smell like pussy. That's what they're doing. They're trying to clean it up. Make it smell like bathroom spray or a garden, you know? All those douche sprays, floral, berry, rain. I don't want my pussy to smell like rain. All cleaned up like washing a fish after you cooked it. I want to taste the fish. That's why I ordered it. And then there's those exams. Who thought them up? There's gotta be a better way to do those exams. Why the scary paper dress that scratches on your tits? And it crunches when you go to lay down. So you feel like a wad of paper that someone just threw away. Why the rubber gloves? Like, why the flashlight all up in there, like Nancy Drew? Why the Nazi steel stirrups? This is when I want to use the chair. For those of you who have never had your vagina examined, I'm gonna show you what it looks like. Not my vagina, just the exam. Can I use That's all I got in here today, I'm sorry. The mean, cold duck lips they shove up inside you? No. My vagina's angry about those visits. It gets defended weeks in advance. It won't go out of the house. Then you get there. Don't you hate that? Scoot down, relax your vagina. Why? So you can show just mean cold duck lips up inside? I don't think so. No. Why can't they find some nice, delicious purple velvet and wrap it around me and lay me down on some feathery cotton spread and put some nice friendly pink or blue gloves and rest my feet on some fur-covered stirrups. Warm up the duck lips. Work with my vagina. But no. More tortures, dry wads of fucking cotton, cold duck lips, and thong underwear. What the fuck is that? Who thought that up? I mean, it moves all around the time and it gets stuck in your crusty butt. Oh, crusty butt. Vaginas are supposed to be loose and wide, not held together. That's why girdles are so bad. We need to move and spread and talk and talk. Vaginas need comfort. Make something like that, something to give them pleasure. No, of course they won't do that. Hate to see women having pleasure, particularly sexual pleasure. I mean, make a nice pair of soft cotton underwear with like a little French tickler in it. Yeah. Women would be coming all day long. Coming in the supermarket, coming on the subway, just coming happy vaginas. They wouldn't be able to stand it. Seeing all those energized, not taking shit, hot, happy vaginas. If my vagina could talk, it would talk about itself like me. It would talk about other vaginas. It would do vagina impressions. It would wear Harry Weinstein diamonds. Winston. Ugh. Ugh. Ugh, right? My vagina ain't doing that. That's for sure. No clothing, just spread all out in diamonds. It would like to be doing more of that, but it's not. Now it wants to travel, it doesn't want a lot of company, wants to read and know things and get out more, it wants sex, it loves sex. Love sex, no amen for that one. It will love sex. Reaching to the walls. It wants to go deeper. It wants to go deeper. It's hungry for depth. It wants kindness. It wants change. It wants silence and freedom and gentle kisses and warm liquids and deep touch. It wants chocolate. It wants to scream. It wants to stop being angry. It wants to calm. It wants to want. It wants. My vagina, just, it wants everything. Thank you.
Do your thing, donators. Get those dollars in. Thank you. The next reading is all of us. Ladies, are we ready?
Are we ready, ladies? Yes.
Are we ready?
All right.
Yes. All of the women were asked the following questions.
If your vagina were to get dressed, what would it wear?
Glasses, a beret, a leather jacket, silk stockings, mink, and a pink boa.
A male tuxedo, jeans, something form-fitting.
Emeralds, an evening gown, sequins.
Armani only.
A tutu, see-through black underwear, a taffeta ball gown.
Something machine washable.
A costume eye mask, purple velvet pajamas, Angora, and a red bow.
Ermine and pearls, a leopard hat, a silk kimono, sweatpants, a tattoo.
An electrical shock device to keep unwanted strangers away.
High heels, lace and combat boots, purple feather twigs and shells,
A pinafore.
A bikini,
A slicker.
If your vagina could talk, what would it say?
Slow down.
Yes.
Is that you?
Feed me. I want yum yum. Oh yeah.
Start again. No, over there. Lick me. Stay home. Brave choice.
Think again. More, please. Embrace me. Let's play.
Don't stop. More. Remember me? Come inside. Not yet. Whoa, mama. Yes. Rock me.
Enter at your own risk.
Oh God. Thank God. I'm here. Let's go. Find me.
Thank you. Bonjour. Too hard. Don't give up.
Where's Brian? That's better. Yes, There.
With their reading of They Beat the Girl Out of My Boy, and Or So They Tried, please welcome Lucy and Quinn.
At 5 years old, I was putting my baby sister's diapers on. I saw her vagina. I wanted one. I wondered why I didn't have one. I thought it would grow.
I thought I would open. I ached to belong. I ached to smell like my mother. Her sweet aroma lived in my hair, on my hands, in my skin. I ached to be pretty. Pretty.
I wondered why I was missing my bathing suit top at the beach. Why I wasn't dressed like the other girls. I ached to be completed. I ached to belong.
They assigned me a sex the day I was born. It's as random as being adopted or getting a hotel room on the 30th floor. It has nothing to do with who you are or your fear of heights. But in spite of the apparatus I was forced to carry, I always knew I was a girl.
They beat me for it. They beat me for crying. They pummeled me for wanting to touch, to pet, to hug, to help, to hold their hands, for trying to fly in church like Sister Betrayal.
For doing cartwheels, crocheting socks, for carrying purses to kindergarten. They kicked the shit out of me every day on the way to school. In the park, they would smash my magic marker painted nails. They punched my lipstick mouth.
They beat the girl out of my boy.
Or they tried.
So I went underground. I stopped playing the violin.
Be a man. Stand up for yourself. Go punch him back.
I grew a full beard. It was good. It was big, but it made me feel awful.
I joined the Marines as much as I didn't want to. So just suck it up and drive on.
I became duller, jaded, usually depressed.
Just butch it. Just butch it up.
Always clenched, inaccurate, incomplete.
I ran away from home, from school, from boot camp. Ran to Miami, Greenwich Village, Aleutian Islands, even New Orleans.
I found gay people, wilderness lesbians. I took my first hormone pills. Got permission to be myself.
Permission to transition, to travel, to immigrate.
350 hours of hot needles. I would count the male particles as they died. 16 man hairs gone.
The feminine is in your face, really. I lift my eyebrows more. I'm curious. I ask questions.
And my voice. Practice, practice. Sing songs, sing song. It's all about resonance. Men are monotone and flat. Southern accents are really excellent, and Jewish accents really help. Hello, my friend.
And my vagina is so much friendlier. I cherish it. It brings me joy.
The orgasms come in waves now. Before they were jerky and unpleasant.
I'm just your girl next door. My lieutenant colonel father ended up paying for my vagina.
My mother was worried what people would think of her, that she made this happen. My father was too. Until I came into church and everyone congratulated her on what a beautiful daughter she had.
I finally got to be soft. I am now allowed to listen. I am allowed to touch. I am able to receive, to just be in the present tense.
People are so much nicer to me now. I can wake up in the morning, put my hair in a ponytail. A wrong was righted.
It's like when you're trying to sleep and there's just this loud car alarm outside. When I finally got my vagina, it was like someone just turned it off.
I live now in the female zone, but you know how people feel about immigrants.
They don't like it when you mix. They don't like it when you come from someplace else.
They killed my boyfriend. They beat him insanely as he slept with a baseball bat.
They beat this girl out of his head.
They didn't want him dating a foreigner, even though she was pretty and listened and was kind. They didn't want him falling in love with ambiguity. They were scared he'd get lost. They were that terrified of love.
And with that, we're going to take a short 10-minute intermission.